Hello, everybody. It's so nice to see everybody. So my name is Laura Reninkowski, and I'm an international life and relationship coach. And I coach in English, Spanish, Finnish, and Italian. And I love giving these talks on InterNations. Over the past year, I've given more than 40 talks at this point. I think I I even lost count how many talks I've given in InterNations, but I've given a lot of talks, and I love InterNations. I love giving these talks and then having the discussions afterwards. So today I'm going to talk about my Waking Up to Your True Potential series. This is a new series that I developed on YouTube. So I'll basically tell you, the story behind the series and how it came about. And then I'll tell you about the different episodes that I've recorded so far and posted so far, and then some that are coming in the future. So and actually before I start, as I was putting this presentation together, I actually realized that this series and how fast everything has happened with this series, this is literally the fastest thing that I have ever manifested in my life. Like, this is the fastest project, that I've manifested ever. So it's a huge accomplishment for me, on a personal level and on a professional level as well. So I was inspired to create this series because I know so many amazing coaches and holistic practitioners around the world, and who have so much knowledge to share about how to live a better life with more joy and abundance in all ways. And I was working on a contract which ended at the beginning of June, and that created the time and the space for this series to grow and evolve. And I was really amazed by how fast everything happened and how everything flowed so effortlessly and naturally at the beginning, which confirmed even more that this series was aligned to me and my life purpose. And one thing about me is that I've always wanted to have my own show. I've done a lot of I had a radio show at one point, and I've done a lot of radio interviews, and I've also done TV interviews. And I've always wanted to have my own show. So now that I have this YouTube series, it's like having my own show. So I really love it. I love everything about it, just interviewing people and getting great information out to everybody. And the reason that this idea came to me is because we've all gone through such a crazy time now, right? Like, the last 18 months has changed all of our lives, in every way. And I feel that now there's a lot of people that are very, lost and confused, and there's so much uncertainty and division in the world right now. So I wanted to do a series that will help people, right? Like, around the world. So that was one of the reasons behind the series as well. So um so so the idea came to me on a Friday, mid-June. So, a little over over a month ago. And the next day I sent messages to people that I wanted to interview, and most of them said yes right away. So on that first day I got 10 yeses, right? So that was a that was a huge sign, right? Because had I sent messages out to people, and if people hadn't answered me or ignored me, then I would have been like, well, maybe I'm not meant to do this. But yeah, like, the response and the positive response was immediate, which was amazing. So those were more signs from the universe that I was meant to do this series, right? And I really believe in signs, right? I believe, that the universe is constantly giving us all kinds of signs, right? So I see this series as a win-win situation for everyone involved. For myself, the person that I interview, who gets to share their expertise and offer practical tips to people, and for the people who watch the interviews, who get lots of useful and practical information, right? Because that's the reason that I'm doing this series, to begin with, to really reach as many people as I can, and to offer useful and practical information to them. And then I sent the first interview to a friend and who's a TV and film producer, and he offered to edit the videos and be my producer. So that was another amazing blessing, which I was not expecting. When I sent that first interview, to my friend, I just sent it to him so he could have a look at it and to get his feedback about it. And then he came back and said that he wanted to work with me and that he wanted to be, my producer. So that was an amazing, amazing surprise and such an amazing blessing. So I'm so lucky, to have such an amazing friend and so incredibly talented, who's working with me on the series. So the premiere week. So I posted my first interview on the 28th of June. So basically, a month ago. And I interviewed Grainne Tyndall, and she's a numerologist. And I've given several workshops with her. And we've combined coaching with numerology. I love numerology and the symbolism of numbers. For anybody that knows me, knows that I'm always, talking about numbers and, looking at the symbolism of numbers. But it's funny, I don't like math. I don't like math, but I do love, the symbolism of numbers and numerology. So yeah, so that was the first episode. And we spoke, she's an international numerologist and a soul seer and a family tree healer. And we spoke about the numerology of 2020 and 2021 and how we can create a better reality for ourselves and the world, right? Because yeah, the numerology is very interesting of 2020 and 2021. So so the link is there, and if anybody wants to watch any of these interviews, you can just go on YouTube and type my name and you'll find my channel, and you'll be able to see these interviews. So episode 2. So the premiere week, I because it was a premiere week, I posted 3 interviews the premiere week, because it was the premiere week of the series. And then after that, I'm posting an interview every Friday, right? So so the second episode that I did was with Yovanka Sanchez. And she's an entrepreneur and a creative director, a writer, a producer, an activist, a public speaker. And she's the founder of Mariposa Films, and Mariposa means butterfly in Spanish. And the butterfly is also my coaching symbol. So we have a lot, where we're very aligned that way. And we spoke about the heroine's journey, the inner journey, and having the courage to voice your story, bringing balance to the feminine and the masculine energies in the world now. So her big thing, she's done a lot of TV. Like she's done a lot of TV shows. She lives in Miami, and I used to live in Miami as well. She's actually married to one of my friends. But yeah, she's done a lot, and now she has her own film company. And like she encourages women to to voice their stories, right, to speak their stories and talk about their journeys, and specifically the heroine's journey. So so that's a really interesting interview as well. And then it's funny that we both have the connection with the butterflies as well. So so there's a lot of synchronicities between me and all the guests that I've had on the series. So episode 3 was with Kathy Yannucci. And Kathy is a clinical Ayurvedic specialist. She's a health and wellness coach and a yoga teacher. And we spoke about the language of love through the ancient practices of Ayurveda. And I actually know a lot about Ayurveda because I've done many courses and workshops with Deepak Chopra. And he talks a lot about Ayurveda, and Kathy, has done many courses with him as well. And there's this really amazing thing that happened that I mentioned in the interview as well, was that, I was good friends with Kathy's sister. We actually worked together in Miami. And Kathy's sister got married in Cartagena, Colombia in 2005, May 2005. So I went to this wedding, and it was one of the most beautiful weddings that I've been to. It was like 5 days of parties in Cartagena. And Kathy and myself at the time, we had corporate jobs. I was working in advertising, and she also had a corporate job. And we were on our way to this beautiful island, you know, that where we spent the whole day. And we were on this boat going to this island, and we were talking about how we both wanted to do something more holistic. You know, we wanted to leave the corporate world, and we wanted to do something more holistic. So we had that conversation on that boat, and then we both said to each other, yeah, like, I'm sure, you know, we'll both find a way to do something more holistic, and you know, and not do these corporate jobs, right? So now, you know, it's amazing, you know, that we had that conversation back in May 2005. And then now, you know, she was my third interview in the series. So it's amazing how life, you know, life goes back, you know, you go back to it goes in circles in a way, right? So so that's an interesting interview as well. Then for episode 4, I interviewed Nigel Paul Miller, and it was about igniting the flame of passion within. And Nigel is he's a personal empowerment coach, and he's the author of the book How to Remove Negative Beliefs and Free Your Mind. So we speak about breaking through limited thinking to create your best life. You know, this interview is one of the ones that has the most views. Like, this is one of the interviews that has been liked the most and viewed the most. And it's a very powerful interview. And you know, Nigel interviewed me on his podcast 3 years ago, and I was actually his first guest. So it was really nice to interview him on my series as well. So so that's a very popular interview with a lot of positive energy behind it. Episode 5 was with Danielle Vierling, and it was about embodying your true potential in your daily life. So Danielle, she's one of my best friends, but she's an intuitive guide and healer. She's an integrated energy body worker, a Hawaiian Lomi Lomi massage therapist, and a synergy yoga dance facilitator. So she does many different things. She has so many different tools that she helps people with. So so we talk about different ways to implement these practices into daily life. Episode 6 is with Inga Deksne, and it's how to make your business magical. And Inga is an intuitive business strategist and founder of the Magical Creators Group. So we talk about ways to make your business more magical, guided by your intuition, and the challenges of setting up your own business and how to overcome them. You know, one thing that we speak about in this interview is how, you know, many people would like to have some kind of holistic business, but they don't know, you know, how they can actually do it successfully. So so we speak about that, you know, and that's something that Inga did. You know, she left her corporate job, and then she started her own holistic business. So that's an interesting one as well. And then so up until episode 6, those are the interviews that are posted now. And now, like, the rest of the interviews that I'm going to tell you about are the interviews that I've done, but they haven't been posted yet. So these are coming soon. So episode 7 is going to be posted tomorrow, Friday, the 30th of July. And this episode is with Melanie Moore, and she's a big vision coach. So so it's tapping into your big vision. So we spoke about tapping vision boards and taking action from alignment. And Melanie is really amazing, and it's amazing how she combines the tapping and the vision boards. And she has so many amazing stories of things that have happened, you know, in her clients' lives when they've used tapping with vision boards. And she shares her own story of how she manifested. You know, she wanted to go to Disney World. Like, one of her kids wanted to go to Disney World. And then she, you know, when the child told her that they wanted to go to Disney World, she didn't have the money. But then she manifested, she actually won, like she won tickets, like a fully paid trip to Disney World. Like everything was paid, flights, accommodation, everything. And she manifested it, and she she was buying shoes or something, and then she entered she filled out a form, and then she entered a competition, and she even forgot about it, and then she won it. So that just shows that when you want something and you have an intention, it's amazing the type of magical things that can happen, which help you manifest whatever it is that you want to manifest. Episode 8 is with Patrycja Kurczynska, and she's the author of 3 published books, and she's an essential oils therapist as well. So we spoke about the process of writing and publishing 3 books and how to overcome obstacles. I mean, she's one of my friends as well, and I think it's so impressive how she's actually written and published 3 books. Because of myself, I've actually started writing 2 books, but I haven't finished those books yet. So so she's actually written 3 books and published 3 books. So she talks about the process that she went through, and specifically about overcoming obstacles, right? Because there's a lot of obstacles when you're writing books, and she talks about the ways to find the best ways to publish the books and all of that as well. This episode is going to be posted on Friday, the 6th of August. Episode 9 is with Peter Wright, and he's an NLP coach and trainer and a theater improv facilitator. And the title is Creating a Better Life Using NLP. So we spoke about acting as if to manifest things into our lives, anchoring in states, and how we can each contribute to a new earth with a higher consciousness with our daily thoughts, words, and actions. This new earth bit, like life, life is not going to be the same as it was, pre-corona, pre-COVID, right? We're never going to go back to that old life or that old earth. So I think that it's important to, like, for each of us to think, what kind of world do we want to live in? What kind of earth do we want to live in? Do we want to live like in a world with, with unity and harmony and cooperation? Because there's a lot of division right now. There's a lot of division in the world right now, and we need to find a way to turn that around, right? So us, on an individual level, we all need to think about, what kind of world do we want to live in, and what will we do? Like, how will we contribute to that world, with our daily thoughts, words, and actions? And I think that that's really, really important right now, for all of us, to think about those things. Episode 10 is with Yvonne Skelly. And Yvonne, she's a visionary wellness entrepreneur, and she currently owns and runs 3 wellness businesses in Ireland. And she's an intuitive energy and sound healer, and she's also the host of Awake TV network on a show called Celtic Heart Wisdom, and she's interviewing spiritual leaders and way showers. So the title of that one is Becoming Empowered in Uncertain Times. So we spoke about becoming more empowered now, and I mean, she's amazing. I mean, she has, she runs these three wellness, businesses, and she hasn't gone out of business. Like, there's so many businesses, that have gone out of business with everything that has happened, but she hasn't. Like, she's done really well, and she speaks about, in this interview, she speaks about, what she did differently, right? That she actually, like, her businesses did even better, during these crazy times, right? So that's a very that's good. That's a great episode, and that episode is going to be posted on Friday, the 20th of August. Episode 11 is with Marcia O'Regan, and Marcia is a trained color therapist. She's a spiritual mentor, and she's the voice of the ancient divine feminine. So the title is Empower Yourself with the Divine Feminine and Masculine Energies. And we spoke about the importance of finding balance between the feminine and masculine energies now. So this is another very interesting interview. And we spoke, there's been such an imbalance between the feminine and the masculine energies, right? And now the feminine energies are rising, but it's to bring balance. It's to bring balance to those feminine and those masculine energies, and it's to bring balance to those feminine and masculine energies within each of us, internally, and then in the world at large as well. So this episode will be posted on Friday, the 27th of August. And then episode 12 is with Nadia Aburdene, who's an InterNations Consul. I'm sure that many of you know her. And the title is Healing Heartbreak and Thriving. So we spoke about healing heartbreak and thriving and ways to move forward and get more empowered in the process. Because I'm a relationship coach, I coach people a lot, around, heartbreak and relationships and yeah, everything, self-love, self-acceptance, all of it. So the interview with Nadia is really interesting as well. And that's going to be posted on Friday, the 3rd of September. So so thank you. And actually, I've done 12 interviews so far, and I actually have 12 more interviews booked already. So I think, pretty soon I'll have the rest of the interviews done, for the year. So I'm very, I'm very happy about that. So may you follow your joy and find your true potential. I think that the most important thing to do to find your true potential is, follow your joy. Find that thing, find that thing that gives you joy. Like this, me doing the series gives me so much joy. Like I feel like I'm so aligned to myself and my life purpose and destiny and all of it, right? So find that joy, for yourself, and that's going to help you find your true potential. So I offer coaching sessions in English, Spanish, Finnish, and Italian. You can get in touch with me at lauracoaching@gmail.com. And my website is laurarenenkoski.com. And then, my Wake Up to Your True Potential YouTube series, it's on YouTube. You can just, type in my name and you'll find the series on YouTube. So I will stop the recording now.